Namaskar and pranam to all of you. A special congrats to Sunil Jain for an extraordinary presentation. Typical of my circumstances, Murphy intervenes whenever I have to say, and he is not able to accept my compliment. He is speaking with somebody else. The point was about the precision with which the 15 areas of work have been identified. I've been given 12 minutes, and I'll stop before you ask me to. Going beyond, I'm here as an academic, so I was congratulating you for your presentation. It was why was it inspiring is a question you could ask. I've had the blessing and the honor of being a part of India's efforts in the phase out of ozone depleting substances. And one of the biggest successful case examples, and the Skill Council is involved closely, with the ozone cell on it. There is a very important takeaway, sir, a very important takeaway in the process of skill development. As I said, I'm speaking here as a professor, looking at the drivers of this kind of technology change. What happened in the case of the Montreal Protocol is, when we said that ozone layer is really depleting, so I would love you to follow this logic very carefully. We found that we had to develop non-ozone depleting substances, but the moment we brought them into the market, we found that they were climate change reinforcing substances. This became a double problem, which means we have to now tackle problems connected with the ozone layer and simultaneously tackle problems connected with climate change. This is an extremely important lesson, and this reinforces the fact that technology transitions are extremely fickle. What are we talking of skill? Do we know about the precise number of people? It is wonderful which you mentioned, but then we are still groping about how many will really be the people we can train, certify. Do we have protocols for certifying them? And what will happen when they have to change their jobs over a period of time? And we maintain the whole body, the mass of trained, skilled people in the country. When India signed the Montreal Protocol, which is another very important driver, India said she will sign under 3 guiding principles. India said, whatever happens insofar as transition is concerned, it must be with minimal economic dislocation. That was one important guiding principle. The second guiding principle was it should be with minimal obsolescence costs. And the third one is to say that we should be able to maximize our indigenous production. Do we have skills for all of these is a very, very important question. This takes me to a totally new dimension. Thank you, sir. You mentioned also about Trump, and his being probably the expert on climate change. And I'm speaking as an academic here. In science, public policy, and before I go further, I must say we had the honor of receiving Swaroop Sahib, at our campus. And after listening to him and about the nuances of working at the place where rubber hits the road, it is quite baffling to look at how things like public science and public policy can interact at a totally different level. Can you imagine there is an aspect of what is called agnotology? Anyone on what is agnotology? Agnotology is the art of creating and disintegrating ignorance. Agnotology. There is a body which says there are enormous evidences about climate impacts, and there is another body which says, no, it's not at all true. Where do centers of higher learning and skill building fall? Do we have to fall between the two stools? The answer is a big no. That's because Science and technology transitions are driven by scientific evidences, Please remember this. It will be absolutely wrong to trivialize science. It will be wrong to trivialize science. And therefore, the second important takeaway, going beyond the fickleness, the transience of technology solutions, which we think we have, it's equally important to be able to resolve the finer aspects of what scientific evidences have and how will we be able to respond insofar as a large public policy initiative is concerned. I was hoping I'll be able to, yeah, okay. Another extremely important driver, I know I finished 6 minutes out of my 12. An extremely important driver is about the credibility of our environmental action. We know about greenwashing, but recently we know there is something called green hushing also. Issues of green hushing can always be easily made out by resolving black boxes. And where does it take us to? I spoke about the scientific evidences. Before you break for tea, please open your phones and look at something amazing. It's called Eyes on the Earth. Eyes on the Earth. It's run by NASA, and I'm speaking as an ecologist. Eyes on Earth will show you real-life evidences. It will be on your phone to look at what are the changes in the levels of gases, temperatures around the world. And these are satellite-based observations directly onto your phone. Please, therefore, do not trivialize. It's not you. You are probably the transformed. The message, the larger message is please root a lot of our understanding on science. We know very well that the Niti Aayog itself has helped us with these 3 levels of interventions that can happen. But why does all of this happen? Challenge me if I'm wrong. And I'm speaking as a professor. Isn't this the dilemma we see? The largest problem is therefore of someone wanting to promote positive environmental action, but then there are a large number of other forces which counter. This takes us to something very interesting beyond agnotology. Today we speak of what is called climate stewardship, and that's one very, very important area where business models are now the call is to develop business models that will be able to show us precisely what the benefits of mitigation and adaptation could be, and we do not have enough capabilities to work on those. There are trade-related measures, a whole lot of these, but I'll spend my last 2 minutes on this extremely important aspect. There is a global database, it's from the Sabin Center for Climate Change. The Sabin Center for Climate Change has more than 1,000 cases of how the courts will come to your doorstep if you do not take appropriate mitigation and adaptation action. A whole lot of these cases, and these cases could be, based on this typology of 5. It's a typology of 5 kinds of cases. And this is an absolute reality. Before I conclude, therefore, I thought I must place before you agnotology, the lessons from Montreal Protocol and the success, the 3 guiding principles which drove transitions, and most importantly, the fickleness of technology. Changes continuously over a period of time. The state of art insofar as power sector is concerned, sir, is about quantum applications. Do we have capacities in our country to use quantum algorithms and mechanisms by which broad-based technologies, broad-based processes can all be fine-grained, and the levels of efficiencies expected out of processes is humongous. Please remember this typology of 5. And this is a quantum application, and I wanted to refer to. So the most important question academic institutions ask is this: do I remain ignorant? I'll stop with one extremely important insight insofar as excellence in science and technology is concerned. Just yesterday, in the journal Nature, there was a very important presentation, a very, very important paper, which said that what do we mean by groundbreaking science? What do we mean by groundbreaking science? The authors have argued that if I publish a paper today, every other paper I've referred in my paper become obsolete the moment I publish mine. And that is the level of excellence we are looking for. If we are not able to therefore rise up and serve that level of excellence, we are wasting everybody's time through mere kite flying. We have the potential in our country. We have excellent minds. We will have to therefore look at this groundbreaking science, which will be able to take us ahead. There is a large claim about excellence in research. But what does this paper, I will be happy to pass a PDF of this paper. It's right in front of me. It says, unless it is groundbreaking and unless people stop looking at others' papers and look at only yours as transformational, you would not have served the purpose. And the final one is, please, it's the values of truth. And unless we abide by truth, and that is something amazing. I promise you I'll stop at this point. The World Economic Forum recently presented information that nature, as part of ecosystem services, gives us something like 17 to 57 trillion dollars. 17 to 57 trillion dollars every year as worth fresh water, energy, nutrients, minerals, 17 to 57 trillion dollars. And when nature tells us, because of you, I am suffering, please give me $300 billion a year, we say we do not have a damn bloody business model that can give us 300 billion out of 17 to 57 trillion dollars. What are we talking of insofar as, values for science and technology? There is a whole group of environmental economists who argue that we are not able to quantify these adequately. But there is a precautionary principle which says, please take action before we wait for the final evidences that we will not be able to sustain ourselves with this level of consumption. Thank you.